You are now listening to the iWalter Show. Real talk about nothing.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird brain. It's a plane. It's iWalter. iWalter. Yes, it's iWalter, a strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. iWalter, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend ears with his annoying voice, and who, disguised as Walter Interranti, mild-mannered janitor for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, nonsense, and the American way. And now, another exciting episode in the adventures of iWalter.
Hey, it's Walter on iWalter. Folks, it's Saturday morning. It's Saturday Night Live. Actually, it is Saturday morning, though. July 18th, 2015. Yes, I am on again. Couple different things I want to... Sorry about that. I think her name is IDINA. I'm sorry, I can't get her name right. She was in Wicked, the original witch, who played the witch, the actress, woman, the actress, singer, whatever. She's a singer. I went and seen her in concert at the Man last night. Let me get my glasses real quick. I didn't think I was going to need them. I think I will. I got so many stories on my opened to read that my computer has like taken a dive on speed, and even with that extra memory, it was just like too much for it to handle because they're all graphic. Things opened up. It's not the articles themselves. It's just size of the size does matter. Yeah, right off the bat, it's funny. Not really, but one friend on Facebook, he keeps on putting local newspaper clippings in online. He takes photocopies, photos, whatever. Anyway, he highlighted one part. That's the part I'm going to read. It says, Wolf's budget, this is for Pennsylvania around me. Wolf's budget includes a $4 billion spending increase from all funds for the DHS, bringing the department total budget to more than $36 billion, more than twice as much as the Department of Education. I don't even know what DHS is, by the way. DHS will spend an incredible $12 billion, two of every other dollar. I can't barely read it because I had to blow it off from his. He basically he highlighted that part, but I think he wanted to read something else. So yeah, that was it. I'm going to see if I can find the rest of that now, because the caption was good too. Let's look on his page too. Also, but yeah, I have to talk about, if I said her name correctly, IDINA. Thank God he doesn't put up as much as I do. Yeah, the title, it was from Another View. I think it's like the Mercury or something, the newspaper he gets these from. And it's in the title of the story, though, said PA welfare budget skyrockets. So, need I say more? Not really. Wow. Sorry, I just surprised by some picture. Anyway, getting back to... I guess I'll wait on that one. I'm keeping it up. Willow Rain, she really puts up... She's got her own webpage, too. Despite her, I'm not a big person who likes women who cover their bodies with tattoos. I think you're covering up. But I can make an exception because Willow Rain, she's a really smart lady. She puts up really good articles, too, and she's incredibly hot. But speaking about hot, I did see, if I got her name right, was... IDINA. I'm probably not saying it correctly. She was really good. I bought these tickets last year, probably in December, maybe before that. And when I bought these tickets, I was like, God, it's gonna take like forever for this thing to come around. And then it did come around. Came around the concert on Thursday of all days. Yeah, Thursday night. So it kind of broke up my week. I'm happy. And next week I'm going to see Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett. I'm kind of looking forward to that. But if I got her name correct, I know she's a little bit sensitive about that. IDINA was actually really cool. In fact, I got to look for something else now. Because these two guys was a gay couple. A lot of gay couples there, by the way. These guys were really cool. And they kind of gave me a heads up. They said, yeah, she comes out and she gets audience members to sing with her. And I had this girl. It was really nice, though. I was hoping that would happen. But there was a girl behind me. She was 30. She just turned 31 years old, and she had Down syndrome. So that actually got IDINA's attention, and she went right for her and asked her to sing a song with her. And it was like, that was really touching, though. So the weird thing was, I got up and tried to take pictures of her and this other girl, and it was funny because her hand was like right on the back of my chair. Like she was literally, her butt was like, I had a picture and her butt was like right, when I turned around, was right in my face. And it was like, not that I'm complaining about it, but the funny thing was, though, yeah, I couldn't get far enough away. Usually you're like, oh, I wish I could get closer. But I couldn't get far enough away to take a decent picture until she started walking away. But yeah, she's really cool, though. I really liked her. Anyway, I have to thank it looks like his name's Tony Lance. He was a guy, him and his, I guess, a friend or a significant other. They were both there together, and those guys were really cool. So yeah, those guys actually gave me some like insight pointers. This guy Tony Lance, though, he actually said, which I was jealous. He said he actually met Lady Gaga twice, and he said, yeah, I saw her when she did this tour called the Monster Ball Tour, and I seen videos of it. It looked really freaking cool. He said back then, though, this was quite a few years ago for Lady Gaga. This is before she really hit it big, because he said he saw her like 7 times. But he said in the beginning he got pictures with even Lady Gaga, and he said, I only paid like $20 for a meet and greet with Lady Gaga because nobody really knew who she was. So yeah, I was like, okay, you really got me. You really got me jealous. It was like, I would die to, figuratively speaking, to actually get to see her, that close up and personal. I mean, that was really cool. I didn't feel like putting a thing on there for that. Oh yeah, because I see it on this guy Tony Lance's webpage. I'm glad he put it up because I had heard about it. But IDINA actually was the voice in Disney's Frozen, and she's, I guess, but it says "Let It Go" sequence performed by IDINA Menzel. She's a really adorable woman, though, too. I just wanted to mention that. So thank you, Tony, for having that stuff available, because it made it a lot easier for me. Very cool dude. Both those guys are really cool. Very funny, too. But, yeah, the concert was great. People were really, really friendly. I was kind of shocked by that. I'm used to, but it was more of a mix of more adults. IDINA, I apologize if I'm saying her name wrong, she was really funny because the beginning of the concert, she was singing. I better turn that off. She was singing, and then these people came in late. She already finished her first song, and I heard she was Jewish, but she really went out of her way to make sure people knew that in a very funny way too. She said these people, oh, you're you're coming now? You're like actually late. She stopped everything. It was like, oh, it's nice that you can make it in finally. And she was joking about it, though. She was really, really funny. And she said, well, I'm Jewish. And, being Jewish, we're very sensitive about people coming in late or something. We take it very personally. And she said, she stopped and she said, well, I guess, because now you got me, like she said, she felt self-conscious that they came in late. She said, I guess I'm going to have to do the whole concert all over again. It was only a few minutes, but she said, well, let me see what I did first. And she came down these stairs that were like on stage, like a little thing you come down. And she said, I guess I'm going to have to walk up the steps. I think I did that first. I mean, this is what she said. So I had walked down the steps and I started singing this song, and she sang the song again a little bit. And it was like, she really had everybody laughing. So she was very, very up close and personal. Unfortunately, my hands were shaking like a leaf when she was like so close. I was like, wait a minute, I'm seeing this person that, she's made a really big impression on many people, and she's like right behind me. And I was ready to, like I said to people, and I don't think she would have made a big deal out of it. She seemed pretty friendly from what I could see. I was ready just to tap the back of her hand. It was like, but I didn't want her to freak her out. So it was like, I didn't want people to jump me either. So, the guys that volunteer security or whatever they had. So I just kind of let it go. It was like, but she was literally in less than the arm's length. Her hand was in the back of my chair. So, yeah, it was pretty amazing. So anyway, I really enjoyed that. I had no problem getting home, which was really nice too. Some crazy drivers in Philly, though. I might have some stories related to that. I don't know. But yeah, again, I really love. Also, in addition to what I saw last night with IDINA, is Willow Rain. She's really, really cool. And anything she puts up, I even told this one friend, I said, I steal like 90% of her stuff is what I make my podcast out of. She just puts up the most incredible, funny stories, interesting stories. And she's been going off on a rant lately, which is amazing. I'm like, looking at her, I was like, that really means a lot to me. Because she's like, to me, she's a really hot looking woman. And she's actually annoyed by all these school teachers sleeping with these kids. I think she's like a single mom too. So it obviously means more to her, and it's really pissing her off a lot. It was like, oh my God, if you're pissing Willow off, that means a lot. So anyway, she put up an article from iActAfool.com. So I don't know where she finds this stuff, but I really love Willow Rain. I can't say enough. She's got her own website too. So she put up 49 teachers busted sleeping with students, and it goes through all 49 students. And these are married women. These are women that are single moms. These are women that are anywhere from their 20s to their 40s and older or younger, well, mostly older, all that had sex, there were sex offenders that had sex with kids, like young kids. Sorry, I had to take a swallow. I'm losing my voice. So, yeah, that was really cool that she put that up. I'm just going to go through my stories as I see them, and I hope I put everything in my show tonight I'd like to. Another thing is, I have to recommend that for a lot of people. I do watch a lot of shows. I buy a lot of shows. Don't watch most of them after I buy them. Television shows. And I do that same thing. I was thinking, I talk to myself out loud a lot. So, yes, I'm a freaky person in real life. But, yeah, I buy a lot of like video games, and they're still in shrink wrap. And I actually, before I bought games, never played them, and I traded them in. They had to rip the shrink wrap off, and they said, "Well, we can't give you full price." It's like, why can't you? It's still shrunk wrapped in, say that protection seals on there. Why can't you just give me a full refund, even though it's out of purchase because it's brand new? Well, we can't do that. We got to rip it open, and then we got to sell it to you as used. And I was like, whatever. And I get really take a big loss. But then they know, though, that whatever I sell them on these games, that there's nothing wrong with them. The discs are perfect because it was never opened. It was something I saw on Mashable.com, and it was Katy Perry's I Kissed a Girl gets a doo-wop makeover, and it's really good. These people dressed up like the girl and these backup singers and stuff. They dressed like in a whole, like, 50s look or something, and it's really cool. I was going to put that. It was, like, not intended to be my mashup or storyline tonight, but it was just so cool. It was like, I listened, it was like, wait, this is actually really good. Speaking of that, about songs, though, IDINA, she did a really good job, and now I'm like, I like to see her put out like a cover album, like covering songs. She does a really good job. She's got a really good voice. I kind of insulted one person, some people that didn't like. I said that her voice reminds me of Barbara Streisand. Now, I don't listen to Barbara Streisand's music, but she's got an incredible voice. I'll give her credit for that. And I actually got one of her films, Barbara Streisand's films she did. And I was really impressed by it. I can't remember. It was like a 1970s film she did. It was really, really good. I was really surprised how good it was. She's a great actress, too. So, but now I'm going to act stupid here. I'm not sure if Barbara Streisand is Jewish or not. But IDINA is. I'm going to have to look this up now. Because I said I was and I didn't. Anyway, my mom thinks that that IDINA actually looks like, I'm trying to think. She looks a little bit like, oh God, I'm drawing a blank. I see Barbara Streisand. She's 73 now. Yeah, she's from New York, too. I actually do like Barbara Streisand. I think she's not that bad looking, but, you know, she never got her nose fixed, and they make a big deal out of that. But she's got some pretty nice pictures. Well, I guess she is, because there's a movie she made, Barbara Streisand, called The Yentl. So, yeah, she's got to be Jewish, too, I guess. She's a really good... Yeah, but IDINA is like today's times Barbara Streisand to me. But yeah, that's a different story. I forget. I lost track, folks. So I apologize. But anyway, IDINA actually made or sang a cover. She does it on all her concerts, apparently, because I've seen some older things that she did it. But she did a better job last night. It was like the best one I've seen. She got really into it. She sang this song from Radiohead, and it was Creep. And she did such an incredible job. Like, she got really into it, more so than she ever did before, that I swear that she looked like she was, like, crying almost. Like, she really got into the lyrics. And it's like, that's really, to me, that was impressive. And she actually got down on the ground, like, laying down on the ground, like she was almost, like, breaking down while she was singing a song. She really got into singing this cover song. And it was like, wow. I mean, it almost put me in tears, I tell you. I think some lady came up to me afterwards, and she said she cried for a lot of IDINA songs. It's like, yeah, she's just got an incredible voice. She's got I'm not joking. I mean, I can make a joke out of it. She's got very powerful lungs. I mean, she held some notes with I'm just using an example of Creep that just, like, I never looked at that song in that kind of light before. Like, she did a really good job. So, I just had to go back to her for a minute because I was really impressed. But this is the next story up. It was from the morning call that I found earlier tonight. And it's titled, Stroudsburg Man steals car is caught on I-80 as a remote control stops engine, and police say. So how they catch him, this really, like, intrigued me. But this guy, it says a Stroudsburg man stole the car from the car wash Friday afternoon in Stroudsburg Township, and how they caught him, though, was the person whose car was stolen had that, I'm trying to look for it now, because I always hear the commercials for that OnStar security system. And the cops were able to catch the guy because he was like trying to outrace the cops in the car he had stolen. Well, they were able to catch him because they basically called Longstar. I was saying that earlier myself. OnStar, and they were able to turn the engine off while the guy was driving. So he was stranded, and then he tried to outrace the cops on foot. Well, you know how far that got. So it says, God, I'm not joking about this name, but it said his name is Samboy. I wonder if they're making a joke, though. Yeah, OnStar to disable the car's engine, police said. Samboy jumped out of the car and he was unable to outrun the officers, police said. Yeah, I mean, again, that can be kind of taken, his name, if that's really his name, Samboy. They might be thinking Sambo, but no, he's a white guy, by the way. I'm not trying to make this into a racist kind of story. I'm serious. The guy's name is Samboy. Was taken to Monroe County Prison, and it was by Frank Warner, was the guy who wrote the story. So, yeah, I was like, wow, I'm looking at it in a different light. Anyway, I am almost like laughing at this story I saw, and this might be one from Willow herself, but it was so good I couldn't resist, and I actually like want to rent these movies now. What are you talking about? Well, it was on moviepilot.com. Now, I didn't get it off of MoviePilot. I think Willow did, but I liked it so much. I think it's a Willow find. She finds really cool stuff, like I said. Well, actually, maybe it was from MoviePilot, because it said it was posted July 15th, and that was 3 days ago, and some of my stories I dig up are pretty old sometimes, like a couple days. So anyway, it was titled 13 Horror Movie Porn Parodies You Won't Believe Exist. And I like looking at it, I'm laughing at the previews. They actually show all the previews. The number one is The Human Centipede, The Human Sexipede. So from The Human Centipede, they made a porn called The Human Sexipede. So these are like the original name of the movies and the porn version of the movies. And I'm telling you, I was laughing. Number two was Day of the Living Dead. The porn version is called Day of the Living MILF. So, I mean, yes, these are really campy, but they're hilarious. And they actually I've always heard about this. I've never seen it. So I at least got to see the previews. I've been trying to look this because the next one's number 3 is called, they made a porn out of Edward Scissorhand. It was called Edward Penis Hands. Well, they have the trailer for Edward Penis Hands. And it was like, how could they make a movie out of Edward Scissorhands and call it Penis Hands? And the guy's hands literally look like big freaking real penises. They did a really good job, but it was hilarious. Number 4 is A Nightmare on Elm Street. It was called A Wet Dream on Elm Street. And the guy actually had really good makeup on. So it looks like a really good makeup job trying to make it look slightly different of Freddy Krueger because it's a porn. And he basically pleasures women to death while they're, and puts them into a coma by pleasuring them to that point while they're sleeping. So it sounds kind of stupid, but yeah, it is stupid, but it's really funny. The next one is The Hills Have Eyes, number 5, but it was called The Whores Have Eyes. So yeah, I'm telling you, these are funny though. Number 6 was, instead of Young Frankenstein, it's called Huge Wankenstein. So that one, for some reason, they couldn't put up probably the trailer, but Young Wankenstein. I mean, these are classic. Number 7 is The Texas Chainsaw Massacre was changed into the porn version. It's called The Texas Vibrator Massacre. I'm telling you, these are great. A friend told me, I sent it on his page, he said he actually seen a couple of these. It was like, I'd love to see these. The Exorcist was changed into The Exorcist with triple X. So it's like triple Exorcist. So, yeah, that was actually kind of like sexy, but it was also really funny. Number 9 was Reanimator was turned into Repenetrator. So, and my favorite movie was turned into a porn. Evil Dead was changed into Evil Head. So that was number 10. I don't know how many there are, actually, honestly. Number 11, I might have said it. The Rocky Horror Picture Show was turned into The Rocky, but it's ROCKI, The Rocky Horror Picture Show. So I didn't watch the last couple, but they were funny. Thriller was changed into Driller, a sexual thriller. Scream was changed into Scream XXX. And it's funny because then they show, what was his name? Ron Jeremy. They put Ron Jeremy's head on. Oh, I guess he's doing a parody of Miley Cyrus on the Wrecking Ball. But they put that underneath the Scream XXX. So I don't know if he's in the movie or just making a joke out of it. I couldn't tell you. Anyway, it says hilarious, horrifying, horny. So that's what they put underneath too, and it has some old lady and it says, we keep on talking about a centipede with 12 people, but the Human Centipede previews looked really funny. I know these movies are really bad, and they look like they're shot at somebody's house, but I'm sorry, they look like crap, but I couldn't help but laugh. I mean, I don't like porn, but the fact that they made parody porns out of a lot of these horror movies, it just makes me want to watch them. So, yeah, it said 13. That's funny. I had to pick the number 13. I'm sure there's more out there. All right. Next story I actually heard, it was... I'm picking this source. I don't really like them anymore after what I've heard, but Rush was talking about today. Maybe I won't have to really necessarily have to read the article, though. But anyway, Washington Post titled it, because I heard this on Rush Limbaugh today. It's about Obama. It says, Obama announces pilot program to expand broadband to low-income households. So, basically, what Rush had said, that I didn't know this, but Google has their own broadband internet, and it's like faster than apparently what, the two top internet providers we have, which is Comcast and Verizon Fios have. Like the one from Google, or as my dad would say, Google's, because a friend made a joke about that today, is like the speed, it's faster than a T1 line. Now, a T1 line is something you would get at a university, a college university, probably at work, and they're like probably over $1,000 or a couple grand a month. So Google is faster than a T1 line, and he said it's really expensive. Rush said that. So guess what? Obama's now decided he's going to give it to low-income housing families for free. They won't have to pay a dime, basically, or like very little. So anyway, unfortunately, this one I'm trying to look for something that would just get right to the point, because Rush does put in his own words. He does a very good job, but I just have a hard time just reciting what he says. It says President Obama announced a pilot program to bring broadband to low-income households in the public housing on Wednesday, attempting to close the gap that leaves many without high-speed internet. The plan, called Connect Home, will launch in 27 cities nationwide, and it's expected to reach 275,000 public housing households, including 200,000 children. They're trying to make it sound like it's a great thing. No, we're going to be paying for all this crap, and we don't even get the benefit from it. The program will also come to... Well, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to read anymore, because the point is... Connect Home has a secured $70 million in private sector commitments, but I'm sorry, I don't want to even look at this anymore. I got to take this down, because it's crazy that he's given this stuff. He's getting them free cell phones, which is destroying probably a lot of these phone companies, because they got to give their service out for free for people who can't afford it, and he gives them low cut rates on housing for these people who just don't want to work. And who ends up picking up the bill is other tenants within like a complex. If it's an apartment, or somebody else has to pay for this stuff. And it's either somebody, like, if it's an apartment, I'm going to use an apartment because that's easier to explain. The apartment complex has got to put that loss on either themselves or in what they charge other tenants. Well, guess where it's going to go? It's going to go on to other tenants. And it just basically, it's a lose-lose situation. So, yeah, it's just really depressing. I'm sorry. But here's another story, and it's called OccupyDemocrats.com, and it's titled, sorry about that, McConnell, we can't afford to fund highways unless we cut benefits to seniors and the disabled. So this senator, by the way, this is another story, by the way, I'm going to read that link again. It's called Occupy Democrats. You know, instead of cutting, like, the benefits that they're giving to people who don't want to work, they want to cut the benefits. He wants to cut the benefits to seniors and the disabled. So I don't know. I'm a little skeptic, though, the fact that it does say Occupy Democrats. But it just caught my attention. So maybe somebody can correct me, like one of my friends. The one friend listens, if I should be concerned, or is this like some fluff story that is just basically trying to throw me off guard? I don't know, because I don't know. So maybe somebody can clarify that for me. I'm tempted to buy this, by the way. My next story is on moviepilot.com. And I know she's like a wacko, too, but it's Amy Schumer. I kind of like her. I kind of dig her. I know she's a little bit thick around the sides, but something about her, I kind of dig her. So don't ask me why. It's another one of these things I should probably do an Oedipus Rex on my eyes. Maybe that's what I really need to do. Anyway, I lost my story. Damn it. Sorry about that. I really lost my story now. I didn't mean to. Anyway, I got it back. Amy Schumer's GQ cover is fulfilling geeky fantasies and stirring up controversy because she's doing like some sexual things. That's her whole gig, though. With the Star Wars crew. And yeah, they're pretty provocative pictures, even for Amy Schumer. But I kind of think it's kind of funny, too, at the same time. And I wouldn't mind, like, getting that magazine now. I mean, I know she's probably, she has like some type of leftist wacko, but the fact that she's doing it, and she actually looks really good, so I got to give her credit for that. So, yeah, her movie came out called Trainwreck, or it is coming out. Yes, is now playing. And by the way, also Ant-Man came out today, too, or yesterday, so kind of curious about that. So sorry about that. I know I got some really disgusting taste in women, but I can't help it. My next story, again, it's amazing. It's on I got a lot of stories I didn't realize this from moviepilot.com. This one has caught my attention because I always get picked on. I'm a big collector of, I like to call them action figures. Yeah, they're dolls. Some of them really are dolls. And that's just me. It's just my weird hobby I have. I collect them and they collect dust. Or I make them part of as I joke with my parents, my family, because I don't have a real family, outside of my parents. But this was posted July 16th, I believe that was yesterday. No, it was 2 days ago. July 16th by Carly Rayner. And basically it says, those nostalgic Disney products you have stashed in your attic might just be worth some serious coins. And I was surprised. So maybe my collecting these toys or action figures or whatever, it's not too bad of an idea. Now this has a 15 list too. I wonder if I can make it through. I'm going to try. Number 15 was a vintage animated Mickey Mouse telephone. It's worth $260. Not that impressive. Number 14, 101 Dalmatians cookie jars worth $195. Again, not that impressive. Number 13, 80s Mickey Mouse And Friends Comforter, $200. Okay, still not really making me, like, open my eyes. Lion King, number 12, Lion King's backpack worth $59.95. Not that impressive. Number 11, Beauty and the Beast teapot set, worth $140. Really not that impressive. Not worth, like, holding or trying to find in, at a flea market and sell them. Number 10, though, plush Aladdin genie toy. Price ticket, $1,000. Okay, now you're talking a little bit better. Okay, it goes back to just a blue ball, not that impressive. Number 9, Nightmare Before Christmas Snow Globe, $299. Now, maybe if you bought it for $10, maybe it's worth it. Now, okay, here's one that's definitely got my attention. Number 8, Beloved Tales Little Mermaid pin. Okay, it's a pin from Little Mermaid, $1,400. Now you're talking. Number 7, Rescuers Down Under LED game. Not that impressive. $50, $49.99. Number 6, Pocahontas jewelry box, $42. Not that impressive. Getting a little bit better. Number 5, Buzz Lightyear Signature Collection Series doll, $500. Okay, now you're talking. The Little Mermaid storybook and music box. Now, those things you could pick up for like, what, $20, $5, $10? Well, this Little Mermaid book, number 4, is worth $500. This one's not too bad. I remember those movies. I've never seen them. Mighty Ducks watch is worth $505 if you have one. Number 2, River Rowing Pocahontas, $129. Okay, here's the one that actually caught my attention. Number 1, my life-size Talkin' Airy, but it's like basically it's a 12-inch action figure. It says life-size though. I don't know why. It's not that big. It's like if it's in a box, $1,700, folks. I mean that's like really impressive. So yeah, I mean I've seen this stuff, and sometimes you know why you can find it in like these stores. Like I know like these 5 and dime stores that sell things that are like 20 years old and they don't even know they still have it on their store shelves. Don't be surprised if you could find something like this. You can definitely get some money off of that. I wouldn't be surprised. Somewhere out there's probably some 5 and dime stores. And I know a couple around here. There's one going up towards Collegeville that actually, I don't know if it's still there. I thought it was. They sell, like, it's a 5 and dime store, like, kind of reminds you of the old Woolworths, and they got things probably from 50 years ago. And they probably don't realize what they have on their shelves because it's just basically crustated or, box is yellow or whatever. So it's always good to look for that kind of stuff. Or if you go up to flea markets. I haven't been in one of those in a long time. So, anyway, I don't know. Anyway, I got a story here from thedailymail.com, and it says, Dark Knight killer James Holmes is now a Muslim who prays 5 times a day. So isn't that like really impressive? This man killed all these people from going on the Batman movie, thought he was the Joker, and now he's a converted Muslim who prays 5 times a day. So do I hear the word terrorist in the back of my head for some reason? I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like a terrorist. Sorry, I'm looking at some other story. I don't know if it's worth reading, though. I'll just read the title and leave it up to you what you want to do. Story I just caught my eye. It's dailymail.com. That's because I saw it from this other one. And it says, Jeff Goldblum's wife, Emily Livingston, snaps back to bikini shape in just 8 days after giving birth to her son, Charlie. Weird thing is, she looks awfully young. Now, I love Jeff Goldblum, but he's got to be up there in age, and his wife looks like she's a lot younger than him. Yeah, I guess she is. Just days after giving birth to her son, Charlie Ocean, Emily Livingston is already back in a bikini shape. The 32-year-old wife, 32, wife of Jeff Goldblum's posted series of photographs to Instagram displaying her body transformation in less than 2 weeks. So, I guess Drew might, well, you know what? I was going to say, maybe there's some hope for me, because Jeff Goldblum, I got to see how old he is now. And he's a really good actor, so please don't get me wrong. I really like him. He's made a lot of really good movies. Jeff Goldblum, born October 22nd, 1952. He's 62. So his wife... Oh, I didn't know this. He was actually from West Homestead, PA. I didn't know Jeff Goldblum was from Pennsylvania. But he's 62, his wife's 32. So she's pretty much half his age. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. I really like him, though. But there's maybe, I mean, in my deep, dark sense, I don't know what it is. When I make jokes about... oh yeah, I want to grab a woman or something, and I'm saying it jokingly. People like are ready to put me in jail or basically execute me. But yet, when you got all these wackos, I'm not saying Jeff Goldblum. I'm not even thinking that because I really like the guy. But people automatically like put me on, the post office wall. Like I really have some serious problem. I need to get checked out. But yet, I read all these stories, which there was one where some illegal, a friend sent it to me. You know what? That was the one story I did not look for. An illegal raped a 13-year-old girl. So, but that apparently doesn't raise an alarm to anybody like the fact that some illegal immigrant that a friend sent me the article. That an illegal immigrant just had raped a 13-year-old girl. That doesn't raise any alarms. Me making a joke that I said to a guy at work, I said, yeah, I was wanted to grab IDINA's, from the concert last night. I was ready to grab her dirty pillows. I'm joking. And it was like, well, you would have been arrested too. Okay, so that really catches people's attention about me joking about IDINA, but then me saying something about a 70, not him, but there was another actor like 70 years old and married to or having a girlfriend that's 30 years old. That doesn't raise any alarms. Well, because they got money, you don't. Well, that doesn't justify... you saying that I'm a pervert and I need to be locked up and basically throw away the key or you should execute me. But then it's all right for them to do that, but it's not all right for me to make a joke. So, yeah, it actually makes no sense. Oh, good. A friend had his... I'm talking... When I say friend, it could be one of many, so... I use that very loosely. Like Obama's book. When he talks about a woman he dated, and he means actually like 5 different women. That's the same thing I mean when I say friend, when I read these stories from Facebook. Anyway, this is on BrettBart.com. A friend sent it to me, but he had it closer up top because he doesn't put as many stories as I do, thank God. And it says, Mexican illegal alien arrested for allegedly kidnapping and raping a 13-year-old girl. While... outfits like the Immigration Policy Center has said Americans ought to stop believing their lying eyes and understand that there are more illegal immigrants stream across the border. The more crime rates fall, the reality is much darker. So they're trying to, I guess, say, I didn't read that correctly, that, there's this misconception that every illegal that comes across the border is automatically stated that they are sex offenders or criminals. Well, yeah, they are. So anyway, it says, on Thursday, Michigan police arrested a Mexican illegal alien, 23-year-old. I'm not going to even try to mention his name. His last name is Gomez. After finding him with a 13-year-old Florida girl who he had last been seen 2 days before her ordeal. Cops acted on the tip that led them to Haddonfield home where Gomez hid the girl while assaulting her. Michigan authorities charged Gomez with one count of third-degree criminal sexual conduct, meaning they believe he raped or otherwise penetrated the girl after incapacitator. Well, I can't say that word. Basically capturing her or otherwise rendering her helpless. I know I can say it in my head, I just can't say it out loud, so I don't know. But yeah, where was that at again so people can read this for themselves? Brett Bart. Okay. Let's see. I lost my train of thought, so sexual conduct, rape. They believe he raped or otherwise penetrated the girl, otherwise render her helpless, encapsulating her. Anyway, they have not released further details such as whether or not the victim was related to the alien suspect. Gomez is being held on a $150,000 bond in a Paw Paw, Michigan jail and will be back in court on Wednesday. There's a little bit more to read, but I'm already probably lost people's interest. But yeah, that was pretty scary. Actually, I put on a friend's Facebook page. It says Ian McKellen says Superman is a joke, but X-Men is about something. You can read that on comicbook.com. So I'm not going to read it because I'll screw it up like everything else I do. You know what? I think I might have lost a few stories, which is honestly not doing anybody. Oh, that poor kid is not doing anybody. I easily get distracted, obviously. So, any good? Oh, anyway, yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to read those stories. There's some story from Brett Bart. It was 8 hours ago. Actually, it looks like Limerick cooling towers. I don't think it is. It says Chattanooga shooter couldn't get a job working for the power company, yet the FBI says there is nothing in the database about him. What would a private company know that they don't? But yeah, it's pretty scary because this guy apparently is some type of... Yeah, his name's Mohammed. Tennessee college graduate slain after shooting spree, which killed 4 U.S. Marines, reportedly failed a background check to work at a nuclear power plant. Now, I don't think it's the one around us, but it does look very close to like the one we have up in Limerick in Pennsylvania. So I heard about this yesterday. Day before yesterday, a friend told me about it. About this guy, he actually killed 4 U.S. Marines. But you know what? Obama will feel sorry for him like he always does because, you know, he's some victim. The real victims aren't victims, but he is a victim of circumstance. So basically what it means is he got away, he didn't get away with what he wanted to. I just pulled this up before I started my show. It was on NJ.com, NewJersey.com, and it says NJ troopers plan DUI checkpoint on the Garden State Parkway this weekend. So I don't know what's going on this weekend. Trenton, the state police will conduct a drunken driving checkpoint Saturday evening, that's today, on the northbound side of the Garden State Parkway in Homedale Township near the PNC Art Center, the division said Friday. That's pretty interesting. So, yeah, if you want to read it, it's on New Jersey's website. I had this story I just pulled right before I came on. It's pretty, I hate to say it, it's another one that stereotypes may be made for a reason. It was on myphilly.com. Oh, shit. Got a big fucking bug. Sorry about that. It scared the fuck out of me. I had to 1,000-legger, folks. Damn thing. Yeah, I don't know where the fucking thing went, though. I hate bugs. Sorry about that. If that damn thing comes back, I'm going to finish it off. I only got one of its 1,000 legs. Yeah, I mean to scream like a woman. I don't mean anything by that, but I just hate bugs. Police double date set up with Facebook ends in armed robbery. So, it's two African American kids, and it says end course. I don't know if it's Miami, but it says police call it a social media setup. How about a double date, dinner, movie, and a gun to the face? Ladies get a load of the two brothers who allegedly lured two unwitting victims from Inkster to the house of Encourse and robbed them blind. So, yeah, I mean, people are pretty dumb out there. So, sorry about that. I'm still getting mine about this freaking bug in my room now. But, yeah, I mean, people need to be more on the alert about this stuff and not... Again, I hate to say this, but, you know, I'm the one who looks like, you know, oh, I'm a bad person or whatever. And I know people get tired of me saying that. I know a friend who will actually say that to me. Well, he doesn't say that to me. I'm sorry about that. But these guys look like thugs, and the women seem to, like, just flock to them. It's like, you know, it's like putting your head into, on the bottom, like, with the blade running on a lawnmower. You know you shouldn't do it, but these women just seem to, like, be that stupid. Like, you're going to put your head into a guillotine or the inside a moving lawnmower, you know, the blade underneath. Like, it's that obvious, but yet they do it. So, anyway, it just got me mad. I want to find that damn bug, too. Anyway, comicbook.com put on Happy Birthday, Vin Diesel. He turns 48. So, wait, I'm 48. I thought he was older than me. He actually looks really good. I thought he was younger than that, honestly. Yeah, he turns 48 today, I think. So, that's really cool, because he's a really... I like him as an actor. I really, really like him. But they had a picture of Groot next to him. Another story, myphilly.com. This actually happened in California, because it said Burbank. It was like, wait a minute, Burbank's Hollywood. 2 arrests in violent Burbank home invasion robbery of an elderly woman. And they show a picture of her face. There's a video, and she's all bruised up. Really, really badly. And that was posted the 17th. The woman fought back, and the Fox 11 Kristen O'Donnell spoke to her about the arrest on how she found the strength to fight back. So that's that. Hey, I give her more power. She's an older lady, too, an elderly woman. But she didn't take this shit. Yo. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, the elderly woman fought back. Shortly after the traffic stop, the car chased the 27-year-old Alani Garcia and 39-year-old Eddie Baca were taken into custody. They were the two that actually tried to severely beaten up this poor elderly woman. She's 89, so that's really impressive. So, hey, I give her more power. Yeah, that centipede, whatever, it's on my floor. It's going to bother me still. But I just wanted to mention, by the way, it was on my timeline. I put it there, by the way, because I want to say Ryan, the one friend, Ryan, who made the film, Ryan Logston, he made this movie Agony. Now he put it out on VHS tape, and it looks really awesome. The case and everything. It's like $30, and it's $5 shipping. But me and another friend bought a copy off him just tonight because we thought yesterday because we thought it was really cool. And it's like we like to support this guy. He made a really good film. So Ryan, I hope you get to sell your other copies. I don't think you're going to have any problem doing so either. So, congratulations. The artwork looks really, 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 really cool. So, I'm cutting this shorter now because I got a freaking bug in here. Anyway, there's another story I pulled off in the Daily Mail. I just want to give Ryan that plug real quick. And it says, the innocent victims abandoned in Sin City inside the red light Filipino slum filled with children fathered by Australian sex trade tourists who get young women pregnant before disappearing. Angel City, a bustling town of the northern shore of the Philippines, has become a hotspot for children in sex tourism. Hundreds of young sex workers are left to raise their children born of foreign travelers with no financial support. More than 4.7 million foreigners come to the Philippines each year, over 60% of whom are men. A version of this article first appeared in the monthly magazine. So they got some pictures of these kids. They're adorable. But they're all born by these really young Filipino girls that basically work at some type of sex place. So, obviously they're having a good time, but they're not using any protection, obviously, because they got all these kids from men they sleep with that are, travelers from Australia and other places, probably. Another story I had. The Phoenixville resident... Oh, it's Times Herald, by the way. Times Herald crime. My neck of the woods again. Phoenixville residents among 5 charged in prostitution sting at Radnor Hotel. So, right around my neck of the woods again. 5 people were arrested this weekend in connection with an undercover sting involving Radnor and Pennsylvania State Police at Radnor Hotel. So you can read the rest. I'm not going to read anymore because I'll ruin it. That was 2 hours ago, updated. So I didn't get the updated information. But it was updated 2 hours ago. It'll be in today's paper. So, yeah. I don't know. And I'm the bad guy again. I love saying it. I can't get enough saying, well, I'm the person who is like the real sexual pervert. And yet they just shut down around the house in Phoenixville a sex prostitution sting. So, I'm glad everybody can clarify and, see through the bullshit. Not really. Okay, here's one sent from a friend to WGRZ.com. On your side. Allegedly, Allegheny County woman's... It is Allegheny, by the way. Allegheny woman accused of sexual misconduct with an animal. Wirt, New York. An Allegheny County woman is facing a charge of sexual misconduct with an animal. State police said an Amity, I think of Amity Horror, arrest Chelsea M. Purry, 27, of Richburg on Tuesday. The incident occurred on July 10th. Troopers were called to investigate a domestic incident between Purry and her husband. During the investigations, troopers say they obtained evidence that Purry was having sexual misconduct with an animal. Was that the name of a song from 9 Inch Nails? I'll love you like an animal. I'll fuck you from the inside. I don't know. Anyway, I got an article from OpposingViews.com, and it says 10-year-old gives birth after complaining about stomach ache at school. The 10-year-old Brazilian girl gave birth last Tuesday, hours after complaining that she had a stomach ache. Neither the girl nor the family had any idea that she was pregnant, they say. So you can read that one. That is on Opposing Views, and it's on my webpage on Facebook. Times Herald. Now, this one actually hits close to home, like that freaking human centipede on my freaking floor. Sorry, that's real. I hate bugs. Drivers hit with $3,000 in penalties at the Easy Pass exit only. Well, you know what? I fell for that trap too, and I'm sorry, it is a trap in my opinion because I got Easy Pass now, but it's up in Wilkesboro, and I got stuck on that same freaking thing. There is no other exit. They made them all Easy Pass. So how the fuck to get on the turnpike? I'm sorry about that. Harrisburg, thousands of people are receiving bills of nearly $65 from the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission. The Philadelphia Inquirer reports that the state recently installed Easy Pass only interchanges on the Turnpike's northeast extension near Wilkesboro. Well, I did get caught on that, so that's not cool. More than 4,000 motorists used the ramps without Easy Pass between June 30th and July 13th, and now each of them can expect to receive a hefty bill in the mail. The penalties added up to over $300,000 in the first 2 weeks. The bill includes a $25 administrative fee and nearly $40 tolls. The fees are based on the exit 400 miles away near Ohio border. So I think that's just crazy. I know I use that word a lot too. The commission built the ramps to serve as cheap and easy ways for drivers to get on and off the turnpike. But they don't have anything else, folks. That's the problem. So here is a weird story, by the way. I made a joke out of it. This next story, it's on the Daily Mail. Man's severed hand is grafted to his leg for a month to keep it alive before the doctors successfully reattach it. Well, I said, it's easier to grab the change off the ground than that way. If you drop, it's easier to grab dropped change is what I commented. Factory worker Zoe's left hand was severed in a spinning blade machine. Maybe it's the same spinning machine the women use to get themselves into trouble and get robbed. I'm being sarcastic. He was rushed to the hospital where doctors grafted the hand onto his ankle. Well, if you had the time to graft it onto his ankle, why didn't you just reattach it to his arm? Anyway, it says this was kept alive while the nerves and the tendons in his wrist healed. A month later, his hand was reattached, and Zoe can now move his fingers. And it's got a couple pictures. It's got his hand on his bottom of his leg. I don't know why they attached it there. I have no clue. That's weird. And that was the last of my story, so I can now kill this bug, and I'll be really happy. So, folks, have a good Saturday morning, and I will talk to you later, because that's just driving me crazy, that bug. Have a good one.